Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Escape Hatch, which you can see Sleuth somehow kind of slid through some kind of escape hatch and is very concentrated on running away from whatever it is that the escape hatch was there for. So I think in my excitement of featuring a bonus puzzle, somehow I totally forgot about James Sinclair's weekly kind of mailing list, and I haven't featured any of them. So apologies for this. This is yet another one, of course, from James Sinclair's artisanal Sudoku series. Now I've deliberately picked, and I think I explained this last week, the harder difficulty puzzle, because what I often find is that you guys would end up having to watch me kind of struggle with simple Sudoku scanning on the simpler puzzles, and I can't imagine that's that much fun. So this is the harder one of the three free that he publishes every week, but I have learned from last week's mistake and actually gone with the one with extra clues. So it should be roughly the normal weekday difficulty, as opposed to the much harder 2-star difficulty rating on weekends. Anyhow, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Escape Hatch, the alternative version, as in extra clues, by James Sinclair, and the following set of rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, we know what that means. It does say, normal Sudoku rules apply and all clues are standard, which are German whispers, Renbans, XV, and if you know what all of that means, you know what to do. The link is in the description down below. On the off chance that you don't, normal Sudoku, that is digits 1 to 9 once each, so no repeats in every row, every column, and then of course every 3x3 box. Renban, so purple lines contain a non-repeating set of consecutive digits in any order. So for example, if this cell is a 4, this could be a 3 or a 5, as long as essentially there is 2 digits that are consecutive on this set. No repeats. So if this is 2, this could be 3, 4. I couldn't do something like 2, 3 on here, because that would be repeating the 2 on the same Renban, even if Sudoku allows it. I've somehow skipped the German whisper lines, so German whisper lines along green lines, digits must differ from their neighbors by at least 5. So if this cell here is a 2, these two cells, which are the neighbors on the line, have to be 7, 8, or 9 to be 5 or more away. If this German whisper line was a little bit longer, for example, this cell was part of it, then you'd notice a pattern of low digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, high digits, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you oscillate back and forth between them, around the 5, but not including the 5. Think about it and you'll appreciate why. And then last but not least, we've got the XV set. Digits in cells separated by a V must sum up to 5. So if this cell is a 2, this would have to be a 3 to make sure that these two cells do sum up to 5. Digits separated by an X must sum up to 10. So if this cell is a 2, this would be an 8, so that these two cells sum up to 10. There is no mention of negative constraint, therefore I assume it doesn't apply. A 2 with an 8 in here clearly adds up to 10. A 3 in here clearly adds up to 5. No X, no V, all will be fine under today's rule sets. So, as always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to just restart the clock and see how I get on. And I'm sure you've noticed a lot of opportunities to break into this puzzle. Box 1, box 9, column 1, all excellent opportunities. X's can never contain a 5, because essentially what it's saying is these two cells have to add up to 10. If this is 5, this will be 5, and I've broken Sudoku already. So no 5, no 5, no 5, no 5 is 5. And we can repeat the same trick down here in box 9, is 5. Its partner in here, which is only 2 cells, for it to be consecutive would have to be 4 or 6. And therefore, to add up to 10, this would have to be 4 or 6. 6 here means 4, 4 here means 6, to add up to 10. Less obvious in box 9, because technically I could do something like 3, 4. That would still be a valid Renban, and then I could have a 3 in here, and then a 7 there. So I can't force this to be kind of 4, 6 like I did in box 1. I also mentioned column 1. You have a V in here. You have another V in there. You actually know a lot more about this because of the construction with this Renban. In essence, whatever this digit is, it's part of another 3 cells that are consecutive, And therefore, the only way this would be is 4, 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6. And I know that because essentially if I use any other digit, let's say it's the 2, well, the Renban would basically force me to use something from these V's, and these are all the low digits. You have probably spotted it already. We have roping. And the best way to explain this is using colors. If you color this set of digits as blue and this set of digits as blue, they are the same set after all, they are 4, 5, 6. Where is Sudoku saying 4, 5, 6 belong in box 7? It can only be down here. This is the only way that this would work without breaking Sudoku rules. This would have to be 4, 6 as a result. This would have to be 5. And the thing is, once you have just one set that essentially creates that roping effect, you have essentially the same created for all of the remainder. And this is easily explained by saying if this is, let's say, yellow, well, these 3 cells are not blue, they're not yellow, they're all in the same column, so they have to be red. They have to be different from the 1, 2, 3 and the 4, 5, 6. And therefore, this would be yellow. And therefore, this would be yellow. And you end up with this kind of roping effect where all yellows are 1, 2, 3, all reds are 7, 8, 9. I actually know one more of these digits because this 4 or 6 can only be next to 1 or 9. I've clearly just limited it to 7, 8, or 9, so that's got to be 9, that's got to be 4, that's got to be 6 as a result, and these are not 9s. I'm probably not going to keep these colors, by the way, but visually very helpful to sort of explain what's going on. 9 in here means a low digit there. Could actually be any of them, including a 4. 5 or more away would require a double 9 in here, but not a problem. The 4 in here on this Renban is actually very useful. This now can only be 6 or 7. Can't be 3, 4. Can't be, 4, 6 to create a Renban set. It can only be 6, 7, and therefore this can only be 3, 4. We can keep using box 9, so 1, 9 is not here. 1, 9 is not there. That is 1, 9. That removes a 1 from here. That also removes the 4 technically, because a 4 would have required a 9 in here, and it's not, it's no longer available. So this is 2, 3. This is 2, 3. This is not 6 or 9. This is 7, 8. And then you end up with kind of one more digit that we can just actually place, the 4. It means this is not 4, 6 because I've got the 4s. I mean, that was already obvious, I think, because I had 4 and 6, 7 in here. Therefore, this couldn't have been 4 or 6. I don't know if that forces it. I don't think it does. This can still be 1, 9. This can still be 2, 8. This can still be 3, 7. So, not brilliant. Not brilliant at all. There was such a flurry of activities, and then suddenly I'm like, not sure. So high digit, there'll be another high digit in the X. Can't get to 10 without a low digit, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a high digit, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the only way you can do it, really, in Sudoku. So there's a high digit, a high digit, a high digit, a high digit. I've used all 4. And therefore, I know that these remaining digits, and I'm only highlighting, I'm kind of struggling with this. Oh, sorry, yeah, because there is another one in the X, and then there's another one in the X. So these are lows or 5, which is not helpful. Sleuth not thinking. This cell is not 6 or 7. It's Sudoku. And it's not 1 or 9. So this has to be 2, 8. Like really stating the obvious there. I don't know how I missed that. Which means that's 3, that's 2. Therefore, this would be 3. And therefore, this has to be 8 next to the 3. 7 is too close. This is 7, this is 8. Now I know this is not 2, 8. This is not 4, 6. This is not 3, 7. It can only be 1, 9. And I actually know which kind of way it is. And then this cell is known. It can only be a 5. Which is actually quite helpful now for this Renban. Am I going to pencil mark the rest? I mean, I will pencil mark the rest. There's a 2 in here somewhere. And then there's a 3, 4, 6, 7 in here somewhere. Essentially, by eliminating 5 on this Renban, and I know that this cell here is a low digit, and it's not 4. But the only way to get to 5 in 2 cells is either 1, 4 or 2, 3. So it's a low digit of 1, 2, 3. Its partner in here is 2, 3, 4. These two cells, which now exclude 5, have to be low digits. And essentially, it is different from this digit. It is not the 1, 2, 3 because it's on the Renban. But in essence, it's kind of the remainder of that 2, 3, 4, if that makes sense. And I'm kind of thinking this is forcing it to be 1, 4, 2, 3. I'm kind of struggling to articulate why this is forced, but it is. Maybe the easier way of showing this is 1, 4 in here. Now try and come up with 3 cells that are consecutive from 1, 2, 3, 4, because 5 is not allowed, that doesn't include 2 and 3. And that would be impossible. I would end up having to use this digit again somewhere in here, or this digit somewhere again in here. So that is indeed forced with 1 and 4. This is indeed 2 or 3. That's not a 2. This is a 2. 1 and 4 in here. Ah, there you go. This is not 1, 9. This is not 3, 7. This is not 4, 6. This can only be 2, 8. 1, oh, no, it doesn't matter. I was going to say 1, 2, 3, but these are high digits anyway. Remember what I said about these two cells have to be low and 5? Well, the remaining low digit is 4, so that can't be the 4. That's the 4. That's the 5. And then these digits are not 8 or 9, they are 6, 7. And the fact that there is a 6 on here forces this to be 1, to be 5 or more away. Sorry, taking it all in to think about my next step, because there's a really nice, oh, hang on, there's a 5 in here that we can just place. Sudoku says no 5s, no 5s. Can't be 5 on a German whisper line because the neighbor will be 0 or 10. We already woke why that's not a 5 on an X. That's a 5. So if you imagine these two cells are low, that would be high, this would be low. So we have 3 of the same polarity in here. I don't really feel like I want to color. It just doesn't feel like it requires it. I'm kind of tempted to think about this Renban, which clearly is not 1, clearly is not 4. And because this cell cannot be 2 or 3, this cell cannot be 2 or 3, given it can't be 1 or 4 either. Did that make sense? Hopefully it did. So this is actually a high Renban, whatever that means, in that, and it's not even 5 in here. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, and this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that useful? Am I wasting my time? This is not 6 or 7 because I've already got a pair in here. So if this is 5, this is 6. If it's 8 or 9, this is 7, 8 or 9. 1 means that's not 1, that's not 9. Of course, this is not 2, 8. Sleuth, do more Sudoku, please. That was your New Year resolution. And this is 1, 2, 8, 9. Again, this can't be 2, 8. I've already got it. So this is 1, this is 9, this is 2, this is 8. And therefore, this is not 7. So if it's 5, it's 6, or it's an 8, 9 pair. Interesting, but not quite enough to solve. Not quite enough. Some Sudoku, this is 1, come on. Then I have, in essence, in here, a 5, 8, 9 triple, just to complete the column. Then I have another 6, 7 up here, and a 3. Okay. Then I have another 6, 7 in here with a 9. So that's the 9. That's the 6, 7. Yeah, still not getting the significance of all of this, if I'm honest. I'm really not getting what's going on in here. Just not getting it at all. These are 2, 6, 8, 9. Yes. Maybe if I color it, it will kind of leap off the page for me a bit more. I mean, 5 is in one of these two cells in box 6. Not here, not there. Can't be on a German whisper line. Then 5s are kind of lining up in rows 4 and 5. Therefore, these are not 5s. Therefore, this is a 5. And therefore, this is not a 6. This is 8 or 9. So far, I've kind of avoided coloring this, but I don't know if I'm just hurting my solve and solve time if I'm not doing it. Probably. I keep ignoring these X's. What am I doing? Can't be 1, 9. Can't be 2, 8. I mean, technically, can't be 4, 6. If this is 4 or 6, if it's 4, it's a double 9. If it's 6, it's a double 1. So this is 3, 7. The 3 would have to be surrounded by 8 and 9, which isn't available. So that's got to be 7, that's 3, and this is 1, 2, and actually we know the kind of how to resolve that. That's 1, that's 2, that's 8, that's 2. That's not 3, that is 3. These are 6, 7s, therefore this is 4, this is 6, and there's one more digit here, that's 4. That gives me 3, 7 down here, a 6 in there. This is now 4, 6, this is 7. Hasn't helped me with these. It has helped me with these, 6, 7. And then there's like a mess in the middle for me to think about in a bit. We have 6, 8, 9. 4, 6 would require 1 or 9. It's not 1. That's 9. That's 4. This is a low digit. It's not 1 or 4. It is 2 or 3. You end up with a 2, 3 pair. Kind of useful. And then a high digit that is not 9. Can't be 6 either next to the 2 or 3. So this is 7 or 8. And that gives me a 7, 8, 9 triple, which forces the 6, the 7, the 5, the 6, the 5. The 2, 3 pair means this is 7, 8, or 9. It's not 7, so that's 8 or 9, not 7 or 9. That's 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, not 9s. We'll come back to that in a second, but you know, I can resolve some of these. These are not, this is not 7 or 8, that's 9, that's 8. The 2, 3 is not resolved yet, but fantastic progress. There's a 1 in here. There is a, sorry, for a second I was thinking there's a 5 in there, and there clearly isn't. There's another 2, 3 in here to complete the row. 2, 3 in the column, that means that's 8, that's 2, that's 7, that's 6, that's 8. 7 can't be next to 3, that's 2, that's 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 6. The 1, 9 actually gave me a resolution here. And then if I've not made any mistakes, 4 for the finish. Fantastic puzzle. So like, I feel like on this channel and the kind of the difficulty that we have generally set the tone for weekdays, the third puzzle, which is normally the hardest, that he publishes kind of for free if you subscribe, with the extra clues, is probably the right difficulty for a weekday puzzle. So I suspect going forward, we're going to stick to that. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video. And sorry, I'm just actually checking now. I haven't actually checked if there is any more roping. And the answer is no. There was roping on this section, but nothing else. Anyway, enough of this. See you back soon. Bye-bye for now.